Well, I think China has been very aggressive in going for growth in terms of the policy actions that we have seen over the last few weeks. So we are expecting China to achieve 5.4% GDP growth in 2023. And that is about 60 basis points higher than consensus. And we think that the policy has eased in all the front. I mean, we've seen this reopening story that you guys have been discussing before this interview. And at the same time, we have seen fiscal policy being supportive, monetary policy being supportive, the property sector regulations have been eased, and the tech sector regulations have also been eased. So all the policies which were a drag for China in the year 2022 have now all moved in the direction of being supportive of growth. So we think China should really do well in 2023.
How quickly do you think it can return to that growth? I mean, there's a lot of optimism today with the border reopening and stuff, and the market is also piling in there in terms of being optimistic on the China markets. Do you think that they're going to get back to business as usual and full efficiency quicker than people had anticipated? And if so, what will that mean for inflation problems in China?
Yeah, that's right. And so we think, to the extent to which the government has really gone very aggressive in terms of easing in the last few weeks, there is a good chance that they get to kind of full normalcy by middle of this year. But in terms of the activity rate, we think that, January will be the bottom, and February month onwards, you should see recovery picking up. In fact, if you look at the mobility indicators like subway traffic, which we think is going to be very important to track recovery in consumption, that's already troughed if you look at the 18-city subway traffic trend. So we think that we are at the trough right now in terms of economic activities. It will continue to build up, and by the middle of this year, you should get activity pretty much back to normal. In terms of the implications of this on inflation, look, we think there will be modest inflationary pressures via commodity prices, particularly energy. But we don't think that this will result into like a broad-based rise in commodity prices to the extent to which it will bring back inflation problem for China as well as the region.
All right.
Because, look, the construction activity is still going to be relatively modest.